You guys are all the ones that are on the ball, that read your email, that said yes, that we were beginning at 8:30 and not 9 o'clock again, so thank you for doing that. I have three things that I want to talk to you about. One is an update on the City of Los Angeles' proposed doubling of the documentary transfer tax. And you remember a couple months ago I came to you and told you that the City of LA, in order to balance their $215 million budget shortfall, was proposing to double the documentary transfer tax to $9 per $1,000 of valuation. And we, this association, joined with 11 other associations from all within the county of Los Angeles to go to the City of LA and say, no, this is not right. You cannot balance your budget on the backs of people that buy or sell homes. That isn't fair. And they said, well, we really think we need to do this. Let's go back and look at it. And they came back and met with us and said, well, what if instead of just a doubling of this transfer tax, that we do a sliding scale so that people that had homes below the median price of a home would actually pay less than they do today, and then those that had higher homes, higher priced homes, would pay considerably more. And we said, we don't think that works either. We're not going to throw the commercial property owners under the bus for you to do this either. And frankly, we are well organized and we have a lot of money, and we will fight you tooth and nail on this. We did a survey. Survey showed that the population was not excited about this idea, and they gave up on it. They gave up on that idea, and we said, why don't you instead increase the sales tax within the City of Los Angeles by a half cent, and that will get you more money than the transfer tax. It will spread the cost of providing services within the City of LA amongst everybody that lives in the City of LA and works in the City of LA and is a tourist in the City of LA, and not just those people that sell their property. And we did a survey for the city, and we said, and it showed that there was actually some support for that. So we were able, as an industry, I think for the very first time working together in LA County, to flex our muscle and to absolutely put a halt to this proposal to double the transfer tax. And I will tell you, this was a huge success for our industry. And it was made possible because we had the might and the resources to put behind our words. And we have those resources because of the money that you guys give, your $49 every year with your dues. And I just want you to know that it had an absolute impact on what is happening within the City of Los Angeles. It was a huge, huge victory for our industry, and one that has never happened before. And frankly, people in the City Hall of Los Angeles are looking at us and going, whoa, who are you guys? It was actually kind of fun. So that was a good one. I was trying to work on your behalf to do that. The second issue I wanted to talk to you about is going on currently, and it's called the Clean Water, Clean Beaches measure. And it is proposed by the County of Los Angeles to put a parcel tax on every parcel in the county, homes, businesses, schools, city, parkland, whatever. And that money would go to help fight, or help clean the water, the storm water that goes down all our rivers and into the ocean. The municipalities are being more and more required to clean that water before it gets to the ocean, and they don't have enough money. And so the county has proposed to put this tax, this parcel tax, on a ballot that would put a tax on every property. You probably got a notice in the mail. I know I did. It had my property on it and how much we would owe. Homeowners average is about $58 per year. And we have been meeting with a group called BizFed, of which West San Gabriel Valley Association of Realtors is a part. It's LA County Business Federation. And with construction industry people, commercial industry people, apartment owners, realtors, and we are saying, there's a lot of things wrong with this. And until such time as you fix it and you show us that there are actual projects that this money is going to go to that will make a difference, that you show us that the money is not just going to go into administrative overhead, that you actually look at other ways to raise funds instead of a parcel tax. What about those people that rent? Why shouldn't they have to pay for this? If you live in the city of Los Angeles and you rent and you're in a rent-controlled, because there's rent control and you're in a rent-controlled apartment, you're not paying for this at all. So we are fighting the current rendition of this proposal. I don't know quite how it's going to come out, but my guess is when we go to the County Board of Supervisors on January 15th as a group and representing all the different types of industries and associations, that the County Board of Supervisors will put it on hold. And we're not saying at this point we're not for it, because we're not sure whether we are or not. There's still too many questions, but what we're saying is don't move forward with this until such time as you have a lot more answers. And then we as an association will take a position one way or the other, but right now we're not quite there. So if you read the LA Times this morning, in the front page of the LA Extra section, there's a whole article about this. So it's a really big deal. It's going to come up before the Board of Supervisors on the 15th. And so I just want you to be paying attention to it, and so you knew if you see it and you're going, well, why aren't we doing anything about it? We are. So we are. And the third little thing I wanted to talk to you quickly about was, just so you knew, the mortgage debt cancellation relief. So if you were in a home that was foreclosed on, or you received a short sale approval and you had part of your mortgage that was forgiven, that in theory you were then liable to pay taxes, federal and state taxes, on that forgiven part of the mortgage, because that was income. And the feds had put a stay on that, so you wouldn't have to do that, and California had done the same. Well, that was set to expire December 31, and with the fiscal cliff legislation, that cancellation relief, so you don't have to pay income tax on that, has been extended for another year. And I know CAR has been just waiting for that to happen and will introduce legislation so that the same thing will happen in the state of California as well. So if you have a client that's in that state, let them breathe a little sigh of relief, and that they won't be paying income tax, at least for the coming year, on anything that's forgiven. And that's all I have. And are there any questions?
On that water fee, I got a notice, and you're supposed to say yes or no on it. And I don't know if you mentioned that, but it's good.
Good point. Good point. Right now, what you got in the mail was information about what your tax would be, and a form that you could fill out and say, I protest this.
Yes.
And if you filled that out and you mailed it back in, then the county, January 15th is the date, the deadline. And if the county gets back 50% plus one of the parcel owners on that little form, it will not move forward. It's very unlikely that that will happen, right? Because most of us threw this thing away, right?
Well, that's another
most of us threw that away. So, but you can go online. Yes, what?
I was just going to say that's another thing. That was a dirty trick to send it out before the holiday.
Yes, one of the other things that we're protesting. Exactly. And it looked like a piece of junk mail, and if you didn't read it and pay attention to it, I'm proud of you that you did. So that's out there, but you can still go online and download that and print it out and send it in by January 15th. No one expects that will happen, that there'll be 50% plus one.
In addition, you can call. I called down there and they gave you the information.
They give you the information to do that.
Your assessor's parcel number.
Okay, so you have to have your assessor's parcel number, so pull out your property tax bill and get that out. So January 15th is the deadline to do that. Let's assume that doesn't happen, that they don't get 50%. Then the process is the county board of supervisors talks about it and either has questions that direct staff to move forward with this. If they ask staff to move forward with it, it's a mail-in ballot. So their goal is to put all of these ballots in the mail April, first part of May. And the reason they want to move this quickly is because they need to have this done by June so that if it's passed, that it can actually go on your December property tax bill. So our collective position is you are not ready for this. If you have too many questions out there from too many different sources, and you're never going to answer this stuff to get this done in time. So my guess is, and I don't know this for sure, my guess is that this is something we'll see again next year, okay? And hopefully they will have answered enough questions. And again, at that point, we will take a position as an association. Don't know what that will be, because don't know what the final product's gonna be until we get there. But if you want to protest this, January 15th is your deadline. Go online, LA County Department of Public Works.